Welcome back to What the Flag. It has been a crazy couple of weeks with the Continental starting, obviously the youth as well. Let's go right into it because Kenny, you've been in Austria now. We checked in on you. You've been in Spain for camp ahead of the Euros. How are you getting on with all of your world travel?
I mean, it's not really like, I think if it's less than a 4 hour flight, like you're doing okay. So no, it's been good. I'm on operation. I completed a milestone. I don't know if I said this on the previous one episode, but I completed it. My passport was like too full of stamps. That's been a lifelong ambition, dream. So I had to get a new passport with like more pages, and now we're like back on the track. So that's it, it's super obviously like always really grateful to get to travel with everything that I do. But um, camp was good. With Team Spain at the weekend. Like one of the girls said, like there's some cool stuff coming. Some good things are coming ahead. So kind of a what's this space moment. We had a small injury scare. No, I'm not, but it's not going to be breaking news by the time, but small injury scare at the weekend. Top secret stuff, in house, none of that. But no, everything's fine. Everything is just a nice reminder to be like, keep everyone, yeah, yeah. No more practice, still game time. No more, we're not risking anything.
And you stayed on a farm, right? Like with actual farm animals.
We have two emus who make the most. Yeah, I'd never heard an emu before till this weekend. Yeah, the facility is called the farm. Literally, it's got like a swimming pool, really nice 3G facility just around the corner. But it is literally a farm, like old stone, like stone mason, no, stone and mortar, like house, like real old school. No air conditioning. So yeah, lots of open windows and getting close to nature, which Kenny loves. Yay. Kenny does
Hmm.
not love it. Kenny does not love it at all. But the animals are cool. There were lots of goats and chickens, and there was even a deer. I think I saw one, and a pig, big round pig, little big,
They're so
big mama
gorgeous.
pig. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Goats are funny though. Like if you watch them for long enough, they behave really silly.
Goats are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Like, yes, I agree. And there were baby ones. It's really nice. It's really nice. And it's cool to be like in and around. But it's not the pampered world of five-star hotels. Yes. And like, yeah. But I think it's great. It's a great space. It's away from everything. And sorry, one final thing. The best thing, because it's like out in the boonies a bit, everything's super flat. So you can see like the horizon's nice and flat when the sun goes down, beautiful. But then when it's dark, all the stars, there's so many stars. And I don't think like London boy, I don't get to see that. But out there, like the moon was like halfway on an angle. Amazing, beautiful place.
And yes, before I hop into your Uniball season, the NFL, I was thinking about you the other day with the NFL season being back and Amon-Ra St. Brown and his the whole time, everything was, yes,
Fuck yeah.
exactly. So I had to shout out, yes, for that moment. But Uniball is back, miss. I mean, you went from, gosh, America to GB to straight into it. There are no breaks for you.
No, it's the best way. Just keep busy. We have our taster day coming up this weekend, so hopefully, we'll get some good guys down to come and train. It's always really difficult with a uni ball season because you never know how long you've actually got a lot of your students for. And Queen Mary is renowned for sort of like students coming from abroad. So although they might be amazing additions to your team, they might only be there for like a secondment for 5 or 6 months, or they might only be there for a year. And we were quite lucky that we did have a good amount of players returning, and a lot of them have done, the glow up over summer, and will be coming back in different positions, which is really nice. But it would be lovely to sort of like kick that off again and get back into sort of coaching and get back into some sort of football. Because it's only been a couple of weeks, but I miss it already. I'm bored.
Well, good. I mean, I know being a housewife is pretty fantastic, and so getting that football life back, absolutely. I'm in a hotel room in Buffalo. Oh, not I'm not even in Buffalo yet. In Toronto at the moment. The rest of the group from our touchdown trips, MVP Travel, who sponsor us, we have our football with Phoebe week out in Buffalo. So we'll drive over there tonight and then we'll do Niagara Falls. We're going to do obviously tons of food tours, tailgating, all of that on Thursday night for the Thursday night football game versus the Dolphin.
I'm going to ask you to, it's a bit, what can people expect? Okay, so yes, there's all the beautiful, amazing things, Niagara Falls again, but what do people get out of a football with Phoebe, whether it's a week or yeah, yes, what do they get? What can they expect?
Honestly, I mean, I love it. I did my first one with Touchdown Trips last year in Seattle, and it's just hanging out the entire time. A lot of them are usually specific fans to the area that we go to. So Seahawks last year, Bills this year, which will be great. We're going to do some on-field stuff after the game, which would be really cool for everyone. Try and do like a little tour essentially back with at the stadium. I mean, I'm in WhatsApp groups with our group from last year, and it's like still going. They come and support us. We went and did all of our Hickories events. Like they show up. They're such a lovely group of people. And so I've not met this group yet. They don't land until today, but I'm sure it will be just the same. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
I would just put out there if anyone wants to spend time with Yaz and myself as well around some football, we are available all of the months of the NFL season. So just chatting.
All
Yeah,
year
most
round.
most days actually. Yeah, most days. Most evenings.
I
Thursday
think
night
it's so
football, we
cool.
got you. Saturday night football, we got you. Sunday night football, we got you. Monday night football, well, yeah, we got you. Like
But that's part of it, right? I mean, ideally, we one day when we figure out what flag football looks like in the future, we can do these tours with touchdown trips, right? Like we can have a flag football tour and go all these different places.
with
So
five-star hotels. Yay! What?
yes, yes. Although I am in a Holiday Inn right now, so it is fine. Life is good. The bed was comfy, and that's what matters.
I'm looking at how fluffy those pillows are in the background.
Literally,
Very jealous.
it's such an advert, just the pillows in the back.
Literally.
So to hop right into our main topic, I mean, the Panama, like America's Continentals were phenomenal. They had so many highs, a few different shocks. They had uh, insane weather, I'll be honest. Watching the live stream, you just think there's no way that this game is going to be rained on soon. And then it was like the tropical downpour. I mean, just looking at it from the men's perspective, there's men's tied first in terms of Mexico and USA. Women's women Mexico won, but because of a rule they have that if you are ahead by 12 points when the rain delay is called, you pretty much are deemed the winner. So Mexico ended up beating Canada. It was all madness.
Yaz is not happy. First of all, shout out whoever had the foresight in IFAB to write that rule, right? Because evidence it's not something that was just added on the spot. Someone had the foresight to say, hey, if it's 12 points differential or more at the half, we can award the game to the team that's winning. That's incredible. But Yaz, why are you shaking your,
She was so mad when this was happening, by the way, messaging the group like, is this real?
It just feels like such a cop out of a game. Like if you were the coach of Canada and you knew the other team were 12-0 up on you, like surely and the game got called and they were like, "Oh yeah, you've won it." Surely you'd be like, "Well, absolutely not. I believe that my team could catch up." Like you'd be so annoyed. It's not like they were absolutely slaughtered. Like, okay, I know we don't really have like much of a rule in tackle. I think it's what if you're 35 points up, you get the mercy rule, which is the running clock. But even then, you have to be 30 something points up. 12 points in a football game? It just feels so offensive. Like,
I would be
do you not
interested.
believe that that team is not good enough to be able to come back from that when you have a whole half of football left? Because you
I
only
would be
scored
interested.
12, so there's no reason why they can't score 12 in the second half. Because you scored 12 in the first half.
I'd be interested to know if there is a rule like it in tackle, first of all, like if a game is abandoned. So, because what you talked about then is a mercy rule kind of thing where the clock just keeps running. I'm 95% sure if the rule, because a lot of the flag rules are just basically pulled across from especially when it's about game management and stuff like that, are pulled across from tackle. So I'd be very interested in that on the one hand. Secondly, I do take your point because also I'm like, if you're Mexico,
Yeah.
that title will always have an asterisk next to it. You know, it's like because the two teams actually played each other in the group stages, and Canada won 20, but it was 1.2625. You know, which was like shocking at the time. But in my most humble opinion, and I know we had Coach Lasara on the call like yeah, a few weeks ago, Mexico had them. That just I don't know what happened in the first game. For me, watching the final, I always wonder when a team has a result that changes everything, you know, because I always wonder if the emotional expenditure is too much, so that yes, they had enough to beat Panama in their semi-final, but by the time they get into the final, everything's just like everything's spent. You know, he's done. There's nothing. I wonder if that it was a bit of the case as well. Do you know?
I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's something that comes up at every level, like grassroots through to NFL. Like, did you, when you've got an emotional win like that, because it is huge to beat Mexico, albeit in the group stages. And then the Panama game was really tight. That Panama game, Panama were winning 95% of that game until pretty much the final drive. Now, Canada have been in that place a couple different times. The World Games, they've been in that same position a couple different times, and they were able to come back. So, I think they're building their resilience in that element. But I think, Yaz's point, I do feel tight. Like I love Mexico. They're definitely like Deanna's my, one of my best friends. But I do wonder because it wasn't an easy 12 points that Mexico got.
Mm.
The first couple drives both ways, it was just a defensive showing where it was just stop, stop, stop. So you never know halftime adjustments, what could happen. I
Exactly.
do agree with you. I think 12 points probably is not enough, but I do understand in flag, only 20 minutes to score those 12 points, maybe opposed to 30 minutes. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Removing emotions and vibes. Do you? Because for me, do you believe as an objective viewer that Canada could have come back into that game?
I don't know if they would have won it, but I definitely don't think it would have been a washout game. I think if they carried on playing, I don't think it would have been like 24-0.
Mm.
I
Okay.
think I don't know if they would have won it because ba if we were going based on first half only, then maybe
Yeah.
not. But I don't think it would have been a game where they would have scored nothing. I reckon in the second half there would have been some adjustments and
Yeah.
they would have given Mexico a little bit of stress. But
The other thing,
I think it's unfair that they just never got the opportunity to do that.
the other reason I feel so bad for them is because, like people were saying about the weather changing so quickly. Watching the stream wasn't the easiest thing, but if I'm correct, Canada had a fourth down and goal to finish the half, or so it seemed. Third down, it was drizzling a bit. There's a timeout, and then the rain just comes down, like before their last play. If they scored that last play, they would be co-champions with Mexico because the points differential isn't big enough.
Mhm.
But there's no way to know that. They're still thinking, okay, rain's going to come, there's going to be a delay, and then we're going to get to play it afterwards, maybe. There's just so much that's like, oh man, like it is tough. Don't get me wrong. I feel so bad for them because I don't mind losing. I want to have had the opportunity to play the whole game though, you
Yeah,
know.
because you want to have the opportunity to lose because they didn't actually lose. They didn't finish playing the game. They
Correct.
didn't lose, as far as I'm concerned. Like
Ah,
the game is mute. That's not. And also as well, like maybe from Mexico's side, I wouldn't have taken that as a win. Like that's like the equivalent of being given a walkover because someone can't field a pitch. Oh yeah, we just won because the circumstances have put it that way. In my view, because I don't think you played the full game. Like
I'm gonna put it on you. Gonna put it on you. So, World Championships,
yeah,
where GB did not play Mexico, tackle World Championships
yeah,
women, right?
yeah.
Mexico did it. There's a whole lot of drama that probably needs its own podcast. But
They
Mexico was
shouldn't have
supposed
come.
to
I'll
play.
leave it
They
there.
they showed up late. They showed up late. Not the players' fault.
No,
There
no,
are
no.
lots of drama, issues, whatever. But GB got given the win.
Mm.
Okay.
It was like a forfeit, basically.
Yeah, which is awful. Like everyone, it was
Yeah.
genuinely the worst part of the whole trip was that we had to take the forfeit. Like no one actually wanted that. No one celebrated it either. Everyone was really upset about it.
But surely you celebrating the silver is celebrating that win as a part of it, no? I'm
I
being very
guess so.
contentious here, but like I'm just
But
I don't think it helped
the
us.
difference is from us. I agree. I don't think it helped us because we still had games to play. Like this was in the final. If it would be like the equivalent, I would say, of if we played Mexico, we played Canada, got to the final against the USA, and then we couldn't play the USA. I think it's worse that way round. Early stages, if you get a forfeit, you get a forfeit.
Yeah. I think when it
But
starts to get
it
into
doesn't
like,
affect the journey. Like
no,
it
but
is what it
what
is.
if you'd have lost that game? Do you know what I mean? Like
but what if we won it?
Yeah.
And
that's my
that's
whole point. That's literally my whole point.
But
So
their ranking, I don't think would have actually changed anything because of
how
where
much
they were in their world ranking versus our world ranking. I actually don't think it would have changed anything, regardless of win or loss. We would have just had a different path to the final.
I do think in some ways that did hurt us though, because we didn't have the opportunity to like play a game. We were just sat in this
mm,
hotel for an extra like 3 days doing nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
And we were slow in the Canada game as a result of that. Like
yeah,
to pick up speed in that game, it felt like you were dusting off cobwebs.
exactly. And I just want to kind of run it back to the men's side of flag, just because we've not really talked about them. So USA, Mexico taking a joint first place because of their game. I mean, what is everyone thinking about
Doesn't
that?
count. There's no join. You didn't even play.
Yes, I think you were in America too long. I think you were. I think.
I mean, there were some phenomenal plays by both
There were,
sides,
yeah.
and throughout the tournament, some of those athletes are just so fun to watch. Like it was really great, and it was also great to see. So, Panama have made it to the World Championships next year. So you talk basically men's and women's. It's the same countries, just in different order, but you've got Mexico, US, Canada, Panama, and Brazil all coming to the World Championships next year in Germany. So that will be pretty phenomenal. And it's great to have Brazil, jumping in. The other four teams have been there before, but having this kind of expansion as we build towards the Olympics, it's pretty cool. And I think just looking at how much football we've had, from the World Games to the Euros, and there didn't used to be the Continentals like this. So this is an expansion. We used to just have kind of, I mean, we would always really have our Euros, but then America, for example, they had to wait every 4 years to play a big game. So it's great to finally have just more football for everyone. But
It feels
the
like a
men's
proper season now. Like you have a season of flag football as opposed to like, a tournament here, a tournament there. It doesn't, it's starting to feel a bit more professional in that sense, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I just think I wonder how because one of the things that stands out for me from the tournament, both sides, men's and women's, is you kind of have the top for me, top two teams on both sides, USA, Mexico. Canada's joining that upper echelon from the women's side. I'm not sure about it. I know we had the big kerfuffle earlier when Canada men's beat, I have to put it in inverted commas as well now, beat USA in the International Cup earlier in the summer. Um, but then it feels like there's a big, again, like Panama, depending on which, because that's the other thing. We don't know how much the teams change between competitions. We saw it with Japan in the World Games. We saw different versions of teams like Panama, Israel, like compared to where they've been before last year. Like I just, but then there seems to be then a massive gap between those teams and then everyone else, your Argentinas, your Chiles, your Jamaicas. It was great to see the all those teams playing, but yeah, I just I wonder how much to the point about having regular Americas and regular international formats, how much that will help the growth of those nations to close that gap, between the teams.
So this week's quote of the week comes from one of my coaches who I was with in Buffalo. He's an NFL legend, Gilbert, and he always would say, never trade what you want most for what you want in the moment. And go. I mean, what is that? Like when we say that, so never trade what you want most for what you want in the moment. Yes, what is that? How do you interpret that?
Well, it clearly does not apply to online shopping.
That budget saving pot is going.
I guess it's very much a bigger picture quote, isn't it? Like it's what's the long-term goal? What's the goal at the end of this, as opposed to what's the goal like right this second? I mean, you enter a tournament, your goal right that second is probably just to win the game, but long term, it's the longevity, it's to get to the end of the tournament, it's to win the tournament. Maybe it's to develop yourself, maybe it's to develop new players. I think it's really important to have for lack of a better way to say it, like eyes on the prize. Like what is that you're looking towards long term, I think.
I don't know. I would say that I believe most people struggle to adequately define what they want most, and that's why I can often feel like I think there's not an excuse, but people will feel like what they want now is kind of the same as what they want most, and actually, if they're able to like step back or helicopter up, in the on the timeline kind of thing, it should be different. So I think the challenge in that is identifying what you want most, because the other side of that is when you get it, like, cool, what's next if you get it, and so I don't know, it's interesting. I think it makes a lot of sense,
Well,
but
question for you, Kenny, based off of that then, like for you, do you think whatever it is that you want, like like later on in the process, do you think it's more important for that thing later on to be a win, or do you think there's something else that's more important that you should be looking towards in that process? Or do you think a win is sort of maybe that what you want in the moment, like when you enter a game, like I want to win it.
yeah, a win is a momentary thing, because even by definition, it's finite. You win now, like there'll be another competition, another game, another challenge later. So a win should never be the ultimate goal, in my opinion. And that's what I mean. Like a lot of people would say, for example, oh, getting to the Olympics is what I want the most.
Mm.
Yeah, but what happens after that? Like, and what happens if you actually don't make that? Are there enough good things in the here and now, in the present, in the short term, that take you beyond that, what you want the most? And that's why, yeah. So it's not about the wins. Let's say wins are short term. The goal should be something outside of wins for me.
What do you think, Phoebe?
Yeah, similar. I mean, I think it to your point, kind of having that bigger picture view on everything, in terms of like it's really easy in the moment to get caught up in things and think, oh, I've got to do this, or this is, or maybe if for some people it's like maybe not making the right decisions in that moment. But if you kind of keep that North Star essentially, then at least that helps to guide you on wherever it is that you want to get to.
Quick shout. You don't have to say what it is, but would you say you have a North Star? Would you say you have a what you want most? Either of you?
My North Star changes directions a lot.
It changes depending on what I want now. What I want now is
Yeah.
yeah. No, I said I know that's probably it's quite a personal question, but it's just as in would you say, you don't have to say what it is, but would you say you know what you want most?
Overall, I think I have a good idea.
Interesting. Thank you.
Same. What about you, Kenny?
It's a very like vague picture for me. It's an idea. Bars. What I
Oh,
want most is an idea.
that's the name of the episode right
That's
there.
it. That's it. There you go. There you go, HR. There you go, Matt. Done. Got you, bro. Brilliant. Thanks for the quote, Phoebe. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. 2 minute drill. Let's play a game. Okay. Games King stays on. I've got a list of 10 randomly selected NFL teams. I'm going to go through them, and it's going to be a head-to-head. Whoever you select stays on, and we go to the next round. We'll see how it works if you both go in different directions and see who the ultimate winner will be. But First two teams, Seattle Seahawks against the Buffalo Bills.
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 Bills against the Bears, Chicago Bears.
Bills.
Bills.
Bills against the Miami Dolphins.
Bills.
There's a night football. See you
I
there.
guess so.
I feel like you should have gone for a different second team that was more.
No, 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 no. Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Bills.
Now, Bills.
Damn Kansas.
Bills against the Green Bay Packers.
Bills.
Oh, none of this
Bills,
should be a surprise. Have you watched
Bills
any of the
against the
weeks of
Chargers.
NFL?
No,
I
Bills.
don't I don't think that I don't think the Bills are beating the Packers. I don't. But
You not?
yeah, I will come back to it. We'll come back to it. Uh, what is it? Bills against the Chargers.
Bills.
Oh,
Bills against the Giants.
Oh,
Bills.
Bills.
I didn't come up with a list. It's random. Bills against the 49ers.
Bills.
Bills.
Bills against the Baltimore Ravens.
Bills.
Ravens.
We just saw it.
But it Bills, yeah, but Ravens because I love Ravens.
So Yaz is going Ravens. Phoebe's going
Bills.
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 We just watched them win with 4 minutes left.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean that's
it
what it's
should be
going with
them.
every time.
I back Ravens in their second half of their season.
Yeah. I feel like I should have gone for a different team, like one that maybe was like mid as opposed to
Random
a top
selection.
team.
We'll do another random selection next time, another time, and see.
All right, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Tom Brady is quote unquote coming out of retirement to play in the Fanatics Flag Football Classic. Now, this is something that he is doing out in Saudi Arabia, but don't be giving a boo sign. This is what the people want. Look, we have tons of celebrity flag events going on. We've even got one in London coming up October 11th. What the Flag will be live and present for that one. Whoop, whoop. But this is really exciting, right? The Pro Bowl has changed into seven-a-side, and now this event is going to be pretty crazy because of the people he's got. Go on, you're making
I have
faces
all the
at me.
faces. So good. I think something cool. I'm going to add it to the show by myself. You guys can choose. But I'm going to create a hater vest. Okay. And I reserve the right to put on my hater vest for certain topics that we talk about. So for the next 12 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, just know that I've got full on my hater vest on right now.
Why?
Why have I got my hater vest on?
Yeah.
Talk to me about, and I think you have some idea. Talk to me about the flag landscape in the in Saudi Arabia in that whole region.
I mean, well, we've worked with people out in kind of Saudi Arabia, UAE, and all of their Middle East. Um, and I think there's probably not out there, I would say. But what do you mean?
So
Talk to me
no,
about
flag is growing in the region, 100%. Like
100%.
flag is growing, and it would be great because for me, this is what the Pro Bowl should be or should have been these past few years. I don't know what the viewership numbers for the Pro Bowl is, but I know that it's a great event if you're there. Is it much to watch on TV these days? I know they're trying to make it different and so on and so forth. But the thing I'm not a fan of is I think I'm just too much of a purist for flag and all things flag related, where it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like it's going to be fun, and I get that it's all around the star players right now and influencers and so on and so forth. There's even going to be NFL coaches out there, but ultimately, is it going to be? Are they going to do service to flag football? Now, very interestingly, looking at the post, all the rules right now look like IFAF 5-on-5 flag rules,
exactly.
which I can take off my hater vest for a second and be like, all right, good job, well done, you got that bit right. Okay, hater vest back on. But I just worry what it's gonna be, you know?
I feel like it circles back to that. We've spoken about it a few times, like this kind of warped idea that flag doesn't exist unless big names are involved. Like I think it was the same when we were talking about the Olympics and like having the opportunity for NFL players to play like in their national teams and we were talking about, these players already exist and they already play for their national team, national programs. And I think it comes back to that same idea that actually maybe this is a way to open the door in that country and maybe bring exposure to it, but they don't feel they can do it without these big names because really like that's a huge, I don't know, clickbait around that whole thing is the fact Tom Brady's coming out of retirement. Like wow. Like if anything, that's the headline, isn't it? Like it doesn't matter what it is. It could be for basketball. No one really cares. But it's Tom Brady coming out of retirement, and everyone's like, wow, like now I'm gonna have to be a part of it. Now I'm gonna have to see it. And it's a great way to bring exposure to that region, that area that maybe doesn't have as much sort of access to flag football. But I guess it just comes back to that debate as to why can't the people who are already in the sport be trusted to do that and to open those doors?
And I think that there is an element where we can do that, right? Like, I just don't think people do that. I don't think people do enough to go out. I mean, at some point, you do need this major platform to, there's still a lot of people that don't even know flag football is a sport or that it's in the Olympics. I mean, but t Tom Brady was reposting stuff from the World Games around Team Mexico and USA, and think of how much, just eyes that brought to our sport. I think to go back to Kenny's point, it is definitely like IFAF rules, format, same size field. So this is what's really interesting is what the Olympics would be like this, whereas Pro Bowl is 7 aside. This is your 70 by 25, 5 on 5, two 20-minute halves. Um, Same kind of 4 downs to get halfway, another four to score. And even to like the running clock in the last 2 minutes is like a pro clock. I think the difference with the people that you can have competing at this event, this is taking place in March. There's no off-season workouts for NFL. It's not conflicting with anything. This is the guys' off-season. Whereas Olympics are going to be in inflict like really overlapping with training camp. So a lot of the guys that you're seeing here, they're probably not going to be playing for their country when it comes to Olympics. So this might be their only opportunity. And just to hit on some of the names that are being spoken about, Miles Garrett, like I love Miles Garrett. I think he's phenomenal. I don't think he's going to be a 5 on 5 flag player, right? Like he's an absolute beast, but wouldn't it be fun to see him playing flag, right? Giving him an opportunity. I will come back to you. I see you, Kenny, making faces at me. Rob Gronkowski, Odell Beckham, Sauce Gardner, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. You also have like NFL coaches. So Kyle Shanahan, his sign up to it. Like, who doesn't want to see Kyle Shanahan coming up with flag football plays? I mean, I am hyped at this idea. No,
Kenny.
Sean Payton as well. And then you've got Kevin Hart hosting it, Tyreek Hill, Brock Bowers, Max Crosby, Pete Carroll, CeeDee Lamb. Like, everybody wants to see this. And this would not happen for an Olympic team. Go, Kenny.
And okay, I'll ask two questions because I'm like, part A and part B. At what point does flag get taken seriously? Like, because if all that's ever been promoted of it is this kind of, because you said, oh, the players competing, and I'm like, are they really gonna compete? Like, are they really gonna go at it, or are the current players? They're not, and we see that year in year out. Whether they'll do the dodgeball and but they don't do anything where they're gonna risk getting injured, right? And that's where I'm like, if these big platforms are always posting the stuff where it's always faces that we know and love, like coming from other places to play around and mess around, it's always still just a bit of a joke and a laugh. Because the flip side of my question, the part B bit, is what happens when an NFL player, ex-NFL player, actually decides to take this flag journey seriously? Like if Tom Brady was to turn around and be like, yeah, la-di-da, jokes is jokes, but actually I'm doing this because I want to trial for the flag team. That changes the whole dynamic instantly if that was what was to happen. Because then it's like, okay, like, yes, it's been discussed and the idea's been floated and we've discussed it. Now it's real. And I often find like when it becomes a reality, when it's like, okay, now's the actual time. Now's the actual what are you going to do? And that's why I'm putting faces because like you said, Miles Garrett's going to be there. OBJ maybe he's on he's not with the team right now off the top of my head, no. So yes, might be like they're going to, but actually, really, a lot of those guys are looking at careers outside of the sport, so they're using this to maintain popularity and maintain the status in the press and stuff. I was going to apologize. I'm not apologizing because I've got my hater vest on right now, so I can do that. I'm just like, at what point does something that pushes the ultra competitive part of the sport, when does that get put on the stage? I can
It
say
takes
more. I can
time,
keep
doesn't
going.
it?
I can.
Because it takes time though, because who's to say that any of these guys that are playing in this game don't want to go and compete? Same with any of the celebrity flag tournaments. I mean, Jordan Childs was like, I would love to play flag football. No one says that she can't. Gymnastics doesn't overlap with flag football from a like timing and competition perspective. So I think our sport is grown on people picking up a football, having fun. I mean, I saw that there was a flag tournament down in Cornwall on the beach, like people just playing beach flag football, just having fun. That is the basis of flag football. And we've been able to turn it into this absolutely ultra competitive machine where like we have the most unbelievable athletes. But like many things in life, you need to have these higher platform, higher profile people helping to bring more attention. So like there's a combination. You've got like where they meet in the middle of, yeah, all these people are doing a great job from grassroots up. But the second you bring somebody in that's like, wow, look at this sport. Think of how many more people want to get involved in the sport, want to trial, make it more competitive, all of that.
I think I'm being a proper Debbie Downer, but I think over the
Sorry to
years.
any Debbies out there who he's offended.
Say again, sorry.
So many Debbies who are offended.
Change your name in it. No, no, no. No, no, no. Like, yeah, it's not. I think for many years we've seen there was one. Russell Wilson was a oval cricket ground. Do it, and I'm like, does anyone see him do that and then think, oh, I want to play cricket? Like, I think it's nice. But I think it's a bit of a fantasy ultimately, where it's just like it'll be great content. It'll be great for people to watch and see and smile about and laugh at. The conversion, we just have not seen it. As a statement of fact, we haven't seen it. I don't know how many influencer style events I've seen, been at, whatever, and I just don't see how it converts into
I
play.
would like to say that we converted Susan from the celebrity flag events at Tottenham. She now plays for GB. You're welcome.
I mean, I was gonna say that like I feel for something like this, all publicity is good publicity. Whether you are following along because you think it's amazing that people like Tom Brady are playing, or because you are outraged at the fact this is even happening, like it's doing its job. It's getting traction. And maybe it's not the correct way to go about it if you want this growth to continue, but ultimately they've ruffled enough feathers that they've got enough attention. Like even I implore you if you're listening to go and have a look at the comment section on the Instagram post. The variation of comments. Some people think it's amazing. Some people think it's the worst thing in the world. Some people are just mad about the hosts. They don't even care about the players. They're just angry that certain people got like chosen to host. So like
Kevin Hart, what?
How do you
yeah,
not love
You
Kevin
what a
Hart?
honestly,
nation.
He's amazing.
honestly. But like it either way, it's already done half of its job. Like the game hasn't even happened yet, and already people are excited or outraged, and you've already got however many likes and 700 plus comments where people are arguing with themselves, and
We're
they're
short. We're
like,
short on time, yes. I think what you just said is one of the biggest problems with the world right now. Like it's not. I think
I
we
didn't say it was a good thing. I just said it's done its job.
yeah, well, but that its job is bad. It's doing the bad thing. I would, because I'm just like it's not. I think we have to come out from a place where, and again, I'm maybe old father time or hate at best or whatever you want to call it. I'm just like, it's not. It's a statement of fact. All publicity is, there's no such thing as good or bad publicity. It's just publicity. But I no, I think there are ways for me that I would prefer that's more holistic, more positive, more well-rounded. Personally, I could take my hater vest off now. It's heavy. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be amazing.
That's how the reel is going to start when this goes on social media.
Well, we will find out in March when it goes to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. It'll be pretty cool to see. I definitely want to see Tom Brady throwing some of these athletes. I want to see these head coaches calling plays, what they put together. We've just seen with Paul Police, CFL head coach in Canada, what he's been able to do from a tackle perspective. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today to What the Flag. We love hanging out with you. And if you love us that much, just make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And we'll see you next week for more What the Flag.
I need the people that agree with me to comment and say you agree with me so I don't feel like I'm by myself, please. Appreciate you. Thank you.